Hey team, I've got an incredible story I'm going to share with you about this in a minute, but I wanted to show you this guy's new place to live, this new house that I'm sitting at here, and the other two I just showed you. Hey team, I have an incredible story to share with you, and maybe one of the biggest testimonies that we've experienced yet so far in the field. I had a man come to our Chilindo the other day and ask for land, for space, which is a really weird request. Normally, if it'd be food or to fix his house or to maybe fix a roof or something. But land, I can't give. I don't have the authority for that. And really, we're not supposed to be selling land in this country anyway. It really belongs to the government. You can sell houses, but not land. So it was a weird request. And he ended up talking with us for a while. And we found out that he was kind of we call him a curandero. Like in his past, he had been involved in, witchcrafty medicine and stuff like that. And so he was, one side, he has an arm that's paralyzed, kind of like the withering hand that Jesus healed. And we just talked to him for a while and ministered to him. And I began to realize that the reason he was asking for space was because, or land, is because he really wanted to start over. Like he wanted to start a new life. He basically had gone 30 or 40 years in this lifestyle since he was a kid, and realized that Satan had been lying to him, that these demons had been lying to him about his gifting and ability, and that he was suffering and making kind of being a vagabond with this ability, but really the enemy just wanted him to have a life of suffering. And when I caught on to it, Baba Hassan helped me. I just looked at him, I said, you want to start over? And he goes, yeah, Baba Ian, you can see into my heart right now. And I said, yeah, like you're tired of this life. And he said, yeah, you realize you've been deceived by darkness. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, let's start over. Let's give your life to my God and my King. And I know he can help you. And I said, in fact, why don't you let me pray for you to receive land, to receive a place? And he's like, well, I don't know if I can have you pray for that. And I said, well, then you don't want it that bad. Evidently, you really don't want land. And he goes, okay, you can pray. And I said, the reason I said that is because your old ways haven't helped you get it. These powers are helping you. My Father and his Son wants you to live a good life, have a life of light and life. So let me pray, because he's given us land. And so I prayed for him and asked Jesus to bless him with a place to stay and to start over and have life, because he had felt like he couldn't ask people for land to live in a house and stuff here because he'd been rejected and things. And so we did, and instant peace came over this guy, and he said, I want this life. And so we told him, okay, we need to give your life to Jesus. You need to admit that you've lived in darkness and been deceived and allowed yourself to be deceived, and that you can walk in a new authority, new life. And so he gave his life to Jesus right there on the Chilindo. And I said, hey, because you've walked this life, I want you to go home and pray over the place you are staying in. Tell the demons to leave, tell the voices to stop, because not only have we prayed, but you've accepted Christ, and so you have the authority now to tell them to leave. And if that happens, if you feel that light change, I want you to come back to my house, and we'll start sharing testimony and growing. And a week passed, and he hadn't come back yet. So this guy came back yesterday, and it had been a week. And he was so happy and excited, and we were like, what is going on? And so I got Hassan and brought him over, and I said, he was like, Baba, you're not going to believe this. And I said, what? And he said, your prayers were answered. And I said, yeah. He said that a man gave me a place to live, a land. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, but not just a place to live, a house. I said, wow, not just a house, 3 houses. I said, really? He goes, yeah, he gave me a space with 3 houses on it. And I can live there. It has locks on the doors. So at that moment, we got so excited, Asan and I grabbed Salvador as well, who was helping at the house with some things for the YWAM project, and we went down there to pray over his land and his place and to see it. And so we drove into, it's about 5 kilometers away, we drove into town to this place, and not only is what he said true, but there's 2 mango trees on his land, and within a rock's throw of his house is a water well, a legit one, a water pump with pure water. So this guy, like, God answered the prayers abundantly, as he usually does. And this guy was blown away at the love of the Father and how he was getting to start his new life of light and understanding that there's only one God and there's only one Holy Spirit that we're supposed to be following and walking in his authority and power and miracles and not the enemy's darkness. And so he came back to our house and we talked about discipling him and hopefully baptizing him in the future. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing. So when God gives, he just gives abundantly. And the biggest part of this story was taking that risk, having the faith and the knowledge of the character of my father, to know that if this guy really wanted to start over, or whether he did or not, just because of the injustice on his life, I could pray justice over his life and ask for God to open up a place of blessing for him so that he could have a place that felt safe, unrejected, wouldn't have to be moving around, and could start his life over. And the Lord just came through big time. It's really funny that it was 3 houses. I explained to him because God was showing you the fullness of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so he was like, I really have to learn more about Jesus. So amazing story. The video clips I have here are of him. Aku sangkalangang.
Munia tu baba ngurangkalala.
Ligongo chichi.
Basi pali lampu kali anyuan.
Break my heart for what breaks yours. Even though I may not know what I'm asking for. If people dying on the street is normal, then I don't want my heart